Hello, Americans, and esteemed foreigners visiting our bountiful lands. Hi, I'm unsung comedy legend Robert Mack from robertmack.com. Thank you, and thanks for coming out on Valentine's. Being here tonight for this special show is a real treat for all of you. So thank you so much for coming to watch me. I don't like to brag, but I'm really good at it. So I have to. For example, this is my 22nd comedy anniversary. Thank you. Yes. Can you believe it? I've been doing this for 20 seconds. 30. Look at that. It's so... I'm just excited to be able to work again and accidentally spit on people. Sorry, table 62. But if something lands on you, don't worry. I'm totally vaccinated, so you won't catch my rubella. It's fun to be able to do this again, and I'm very aware that I don't have a mask, and you're staring at my face, and it's freaking me out. And I just want to remind everybody, I also have a body, okay? Eyes down here, all right? Charles Darwin once told me, he said, human beings need to connect, and we usually do that looking in people's faces, and it's true. Somebody in my building I haven't seen in months, I saw them the other day, and I wanted to connect, and so I was gonna shake, and I don't know if that's cool, so then I was gonna fist bump, and I don't know where that is, so I ended up doing that, and that's where things are these days. Scissors beats rock and paper. That's where... But my current phobia du jour is things are going to get worse again, and I'm going to lose more gigs. Like I have a kissing booth gig in Miami. I think that might cancel, or the Taliban roast that I'm supposed to do in Kabul. Probably not going to happen. I'm just glad that we don't have to quarantine anymore. I think that's great, because I think if that were to happen, I think the murder rate would go through the roof, because for 2 years everyone's been collecting gloves and masks and industrial cleaners. That's a serial killer starter kit right there. Add an annoying roommate, you've got a future murder scene on your hands. And then a podcast. So I'm here tonight by special request of my wife, who's at home. So great to be here. Just kidding. I'm here to fill a quota. We have to have at least one old white guy on the show, so that's why I'm here. I am recently married. Sorry, ladies and suddenly curious boys. Recently in geological time, but pretty far back in like technology time, because every once in a while somebody will ask, oh, what kind of app did you guys use to meet? And we met the old-fashioned way, all right? I plundered her village. And then she asked what kind of horse I drove. So. She is, this is a true story. My wife got into an accident on her bike, and her femur, the top of her femur, snapped off. Yeah. Do we have any medical professionals here? No? I saw some, no, just niche. They say the only thing worse than a broken femur is a wife with a broken femur. Which is what I have. And it's no bed of roses, I'll tell you that, because for 2 weeks after the accident, you can't even sit down when you have a wife with broken femur. Because she's always asking you to get stuff. You know, I need more meds. Okay, take me to the bathroom. Adjust the bandages. That's the first symptom. Ringing in the ears is the first symptom of wife with broken femur. And it just goes on and on. Drain the fluid bag and more meds. And it's good. It's good for the quads. That's the only good thing about WBF. And I use my quads a lot. I don't want to sound elitist because I'm better than that, but I was on my high school cross country team for 5 years, so. Please explain that one to the quiet people. Today we are, how are we doing? Okay. We are here today to talk about love, I guess, some of us. And I came here, I took the metro here. At night I call it the Comet because it comes once every 78 years. I love doing this job again, and I haven't been able to do it for like 2 years. So it's really exciting for me. And I would say that like anyone who works in front of an audience, that was probably one of the hardest jobs over the last 2 years. Probably like the third hardest job. And then underneath like Zoom technical support agent is probably second. And then like glacier. I would not want to be a glacier in this economy. Are you kidding? When I was a kid, there were glaciers all over. Now nobody wants to be a glacier. They even had a song when I was a kid. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be glaciers. But now it's, and this weather, I can't believe this weather because I'm an atheist. And we have trouble believing, but it's not as bad as my neighbor. He's agnostic. He doesn't know whether or not, if we have weather or not. A bunch of science men recently said some stuff, science men and the science ladies, that they reluctantly allowed on board. And I'm going to hold on times. For many years, it was just science men. And then they said, fine, we'll allow a science lady. And the first science lady was Marie Curie, who's the only person to win 2 Nobel Prizes in 2 different fields of science. And she discovered radiation. And she discovered the only substance harder than diamonds. Yeah. It's an avocado from Trader Joe's. What if the Russians weaponized that technology? If that avocado fell into the wrong hands, it would crush their hands because... All right, time's back in. So the science men, they said a couple things. They said they looked at all the facts and figures, and they've determined that most of the time, most years, July is the hottest month of that particular year. And I thought back when I was a kid, 4th of July, right? Always hot. Always July. So the evidence bears that out. July, hot. Okay, I get it. Then what they said next, you might want to sit down for this. Thanks. What they said next, they said last July of last year, was the hottest month on Earth ever. And that's a bold statement to make because we're not done with ever yet. All right? It's a little premature to be handing out trophies, okay? It might not even be the hottest month of the decade. All right, let's see how it plays out, science man, because ever is a long time. Ever for the Earth began when the Earth began, which was 4.5 billion years ago and 18 months. I did the research so you didn't have to, and I talked to the experts, and they told me the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, and that was 18 months ago, so you would have to add that to its age. And then the Earth will continue to exist for another 5 to 7 billion years, minus the 18 months we've already used up. At which point the sun will become a red giant and consume the planet. So that is ever for the Earth, and we're not even halfway done, and you don't crown a champion before mid-season, okay? I'm no gambling guy, but if I were, I'd put all my money on probably the last month of ever. I bet you that's going to be kind of hot, I think. When the sun expands 250 times its size and turns into a 5,000-degree ball of nuclear fusion, vaporizing every atomic bond that holds the Earth's very existence together, that's got to be hotter than last July, I think. When it gets hot, do what I do. Take a summer vacation to Alaska. Yeah. 7 days, 1 night. Please, folks, somebody's got to follow me. So we have a great show, and because there's just more and more comedy, there's some jokes I will not have a chance to do tonight. I apologize. I will go through those right now. So these are some jokes I'm not doing. I'm not doing any Kardashian jokes. I don't know Kardashian. I don't even know where Kardashian is, and I'm not going to come up here and talk about something that I don't know anything about. So no Kardashian jokes, no sex jokes, same reason. Also, the sperm whale that ambushed the giant octopus at Lake Titicaca, obviously. And then jokes I might do a joke called My Favorite Thing, if I remember, and you guys are good. And then it says Mitch McConnell. I don't know what that's all about. The last thing I want to do is make fun of Mitch McConnell, so I'll be closing with that. I can't go any slower than that. Okay, and then jokes I am doing. I'm doing this joke, which is called Jokes I'm Not Doing, and it kind of folds onto itself and becomes a singularity in the time-space continuum. And then back in the pocket. Okay. While you guys were living it up during the pandemic, I had a spinal infection, and it gets better. Let me rewind. First, this is the backstory of my backstory. First was the pandemic, and then I lost all of my night gigs, and I also lost my day job, which is booking all of my night gigs. And then was the kitchen fire, little kitchen fire, nobody got hurt. You know how to make things cuter? You make them smaller, like Yoda, Baby Yoda. If you would have seen this kitchen fire, it was adorbs. You would have said, fire! Oh, it was so cute, just a microwave, a couple cabinets, smoke damage, but nobody got hurt. And the short version is a $3 bag of microwave popcorn ended up costing $2,003. But nobody got it. And then was the rotator cuff surgery, which I don't remember too much about because they gave me a shot of something and said, count backwards from 100. And I said 99 and woke up with this sling. And then like that, they're like, you're great, and you'll be able to golf in 6 months, which is pretty amazing because I've never golfed. So, and then was the spinal infection, which might sound kind of scary, but it only affected my spine and the parts of my body connected to my spine. And I had to go to the hospital, and just I had to do a sleepover. And if you've never done a sleepover at the hospital, here's just a couple pointers. Well, first of all, if you're going to schedule this unexpected emergency viral infection, plan it for early on a Friday, rather than a Friday rush hour, because there's not a lot of urgency in the emergency room when the weekend shift clocks in. So slows down a lot, which is why I had to spend the night. And the first thing you're going to want to do when you get into the hospital is get out of the hospital, because that place is like a haunted Greyhound bus station. Nobody wants to be there. The doctors don't want to be there. The custodians don't. The patients obviously don't want to be there. I had to be there for 10 days. 10 days and 10 nights. It was like a all-you-can-eat vacation, and it was horrible, but I had a lot of medicine because my pain level was 8, which is considered really bad because it's a scale of 1 to 5. So I got a lot of medication, and I had a nurse, and I don't know the best way to say this, but English is not her first language, which means she speaks more languages than I do. So thanks a lot for rubbing it in. Now I'm stupid and contagious. Here we are now. Entertain us. And it's humiliating enough because all I'm wearing is that clown gown, which really it's the most humiliating thing ever. And at first I'm like, oh no, don't look at my underwear. But after a week and a half, I'm more like, does this catheter smell funny to you? Because if you don't know what a catheter is, it's a thing that goes in your body that you can't imagine could actually fit in your body, but it does. And then they take it out and clean it and put it back in for a week and a half. So I got out of there, and it's great because I'm back here now, and I'm running again, which is nice. I lost a little bit of weight, and I lost an inch in height, and I lost all my money because a guy with a mask had a knife to my back. But but I'm in running again, which I really need because I'm not nearly as good as before though, because I ran just the other day, and I get exhausted really easily, and then I take a hot shower, and that's really tiring also. And then all afternoons between 3 and 5, that's kind of my downtime. And because of my metabolism, every time I eat, I get a little groggy. So I'm pretty much tired all day long, except when I want to go to bed. And it's getting to be I'm really tired of this insomnia, but not tired enough to actually sleep. And the worst part is not tossing and turning and counting the hours. It's the non-medical professionals who try to give me advice on what I need to do to sleep. Everyone has all the answers. You know what you need to do is you need to dim the lights, and you're gonna want to lie down. Well, really? Thanks, Doc, because I've been going to speed metal concerts and chugging Red Bull by the gallon. Thanks a lot, but I can't say that's kind of mean, and I'm more of a how can I dim the lights if I'm already lying down kind of guy. So I got to work on the messaging on that one. So if I yawn, it's not you guys, all right? It's me. And in fact, what I'd love to do, maybe after the show, get a picture of the whole audience yawning at the same time, and use that picture as the album cover of my next comedy album, Robert Mack's Jaw-Dropping Comedy. That's what I would love to do right there. How we doing? It's okay. There's so much I want to talk about, but I've been watching the news, which is the worst show on television. I don't know who writes this stuff. It is absolutely horrible. It's been on forever, 0 Emmys. It gets renewed every season. And I don't know if you watched it recently. Russia's in the news, both good and bad. In the Olympics, they're medaling, but in the Ukraine, they're meddling. So I don't know if you actually heard that second D. Good. I don't know what to feel about the Olympics. I think I'm going to boycott or continue to boycott. And it's not because of what China is doing to the Uyghurs or the people in Tibet. It's the whole, yes, I read the internet. It's the whole Chinese New Year scam, which is what it is. A couple years ago, somebody said I should check out the Chinese New Year, so I went to San Francisco, California, because they have the largest Chinatown in the world. That's a fact. There are larger ones in China, doi, but over there, they're just called towns. All right, otherwise, it would be redundant. So it was around Valentine's Day, a couple years ago. I went to San Francisco, year of the rat, but I partied like it was dragon. Oh yeah. Mugu Gai Pan out the yin yang, I tell you. All you can eat and dim sum. And then they clear the plates, and I'm face to face with that government-issued Chinese zodiac placemat that says Happy New Year in the middle of February. And to me, that's a red flag. I don't think the first day of the new year should be hiding in the middle of the second month. There's something going on, and I haven't figured it out, and I did a little research. Turns out Chinese New Year starts on a different day every year. Maybe it's the middle of February, maybe it's June 52nd, but it always manages to end up on the day of a parade. Yeah, interesting. That's another red flag, a big one with yellow stars, if you know what I mean. All right, I know China is doing something, and I haven't figured it out. You know, when I was a kid, there was no gluten allergies or gluten-free. Do you guys remember that? And then one day, the sleeping propaganda dragon, that is the Chinese propaganda machine, woke up and said, "Oh, you're going to have all that gluten and you're going to eat that bread. You're going to get really sick eating all that gluten." Yeah, according to the world's largest producer of rice. All right, figure it out, people. Follow the money. They're doing something to rip us off, and I haven't figured it out. I looked up my birthday. I was born in January, which is the best month to have a birthday because you don't have to wait as long. Also, you get a a fresh start. This year I joined a health club because I decided this year I really want to lose about $30 a month. So
Say that again.
my placemat said I was born in Year of the Monkey, but I looked it up, and the year I was born, Year of the Monkey didn't start till February. I was born in January when it was still goat. So technically, I've been a goat all of these years. Have you ever been demoted to goat before? I've been living a lie all of these years. I thought it was skillful and flexible and creative. No, it turns out I'm compassionate and fancy, and I like rabbits. Well, I don't like rabbits. And I don't like people telling me to like rabbits. So that's it. We're done. Sayonara, China. I decided to boycott China. No more Tai Chi or Chai tea. I have a black belt. It's that long. I got it from Sears. I found it in the parking lot. So I flew home. I flew home from San Francisco, and I went to my doctor's office because none of your business. But I was in the doctor's office, and I was reading this little pamphlet. It was a tiny pamphlet. It was like a pamphlet. And the pamphlet said that 1 out of every 3 Americans is morbidly obese. Yeah. So look where you're sitting, 1 out of 3. All right, if the person sitting on your left and the person sitting on your right is the same person, then you're probably not morbidly obese. So happy Chinese New Year. Okay. I see a light in the back of the room, which means that the British are attacking by land. No, they said I should do a couple of jokes, so give me 60 seconds on the clock and sit down and listen up and go. My favorite thing in the bedroom is when she puts on her nurse outfit and leaves for work without waking me up. If we can send a couple billionaires into space, why can't we send them all? Do you guys like the rapper 50 Cent? Because I just bought 2 50 Cent CDs at the dollar store. Show your work. My neighbor got a cream that makes you 15 years younger, but her kid got into it and now he's an embryo that can roll its eyes. If you gaze into the eyes of a millennial, you'll discover their truth, which is this: their phone is charging. That's the only time they make eye contact. My recently divorced chemistry teacher says alcohol is a solution. Show your work. A science riddle for the kids: is the 7th planet Uranus with the emphasis on urine, or Uranus with the emphasis on anus? I don't know if it's number 1 or number 2. And finally, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, and Mitch McConnell walk into a bar. Do not go to that bar. That's it for me. You guys have been great. I just want to say one thing in all seriousness. I know it sounds cheesy or whatever, but if you came tonight and laughed and you leave here feeling better than when you arrived, then you owe me money.